Welcome to the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. This is your host, baseball player and entrepreneur, Gavin Johns. This podcast will empower you to reach your fullest potential in life. Inspirational stories, keys to success, and practical methods to overcome life's challenges will be revealed. I encourage you to be the light in the lightning and spark a positive change in the world today. How's everyone doing? We got a special guest, Vera Markevich, on Galvanize with Gavin video podcast. Vera has quite the resume. So Vera is was a part of the Russian national team. She played golf at UCLA. That's where we met, actually. And she graduated from UCLA with a degree in international development studies, which focuses on relations and the economic side of international development. Next, she's participated in numerous world championships for golf, and Vera actually won the Moscow Open Championship. So just super grateful to have Vera on the video podcast. A great friend, like I said, of mine. And so Vera, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Gavin. I'm doing good today. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be on this podcast and talk about interesting things.
Awesome. Yeah, well, like I said, thanks again. And it's going to be a great conversation. I already know. So I guess the first question for everyone so they can learn more about you as a golfer and as a person. The first question, throughout your golf career, you've had a lot of highlights, but if you had to pick one memory, throughout your whole golf career, if you had to just pick one, what would that be and why, would you say?
There were quite a lot, as you said, and of course, every single tournament has its amazing highlights, and each tournament is very important. And I played in many tournaments in my life, but I think the one that meant the most to me was my first tournament that I won in the United States when I came from Russia. And it was Toyota Tour Cup, which was, for me, it was a big opportunity, and it was a big surprise for me to win it because it was one of the first times I shot 5 under in a tournament in the United States, which is a very good score. And when I was coming to US, I thought that the golf players were so amazing and so strong that in my imagination, I didn't even think I could beat all of them. And when it happened at one of the tournaments in California, which was a pretty big tournament, I was very excited and I was very empowered that I was able to do it and compete on the high level as American golfers.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. It was a great story. And yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. It's kind of how I've seen, I guess many moments in my baseball career as well. When you look at it from the outside, it's like, wow, that's pretty almost intimidating. But then once you get there, you trust your preparation and your hard work. And, it's like, I can't hang with these people, and it's not something, too foreign, no pun intended, but no, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So I guess just like you said, being from Russia, Moscow specifically, what was that journey like? It had to be, you probably had to adapt to a lot of things coming to the United States. If you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit what that was like to everyone.
Well, just a little bit story how I got to United States in the first place. So I started to play golf when I was 8 years old. And I started to play golf here in Moscow, and it happened on accident. We just bought an apartment next to the golf course that was in the center of Moscow, which is very random. And my mom decided to take me to golf and try it out. So I did, and I became good at it. And at the age of 13, I got to United States because United States is #1 place for golf in the world. Best players, PGA Tour, LPGA Tour, everything about golf is United States, what it seemed like to me. And for me, coming to United States wasn't that hard, but I feel part of it was because I was young. I was only 13, so I feel like I was exactly at an age where you shape as a person. So if I would come to United States now, it would be harder for me. But when I came at the age of 13, I didn't actually find too many differences in the culture. And I was very, very welcomed by the people in school. Like I never felt like I didn't belong to United States, which is amazing because I feel like you cannot say that about many places. But in United States, I felt welcomed and I felt like I was part of the community. And actually, when I graduated from high school, people even forgot that I was foreign. Like they thought that I was American with some Russian roots, but no one remembered the fact that I actually came from Russia not a long time ago. So it was a great experience overall.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad they welcomed you with open arms, and definitely, I'm definitely fortunate that we're able to cross paths. So outside of golf and school, what are some of your hobbies or passions that you enjoy doing that take up some of your time?
Well, I try to keep myself busy. I probably you're that way as well. When you're a student athlete at a university, you have a very tight schedule, but you want to fit everything you can in it to be a person who participates in many things and tries a lot of things. For me, I find it very nice to sing. Actually, I sing opera. I take opera classes, which is again very random because no one from my family has to do anything with music. But I found it very interesting. I also love swimming. I love traveling. I love to learn new languages. I actually still learn. I learned it for 10 years now, but Spanish is one of my favorite languages to speak. So I take Spanish classes, and I also love to give English lessons to little kids.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow. You do a lot more than just golf. I knew some of those. I didn't know all those. That's awesome. It's good to be a well-rounded person, and knowing that you're not just doing those things, that you're enjoying them to the fullest and excelling in all those areas. So it's awesome to hear that perspective. Some people assume that our sport is all we do or school is all we do, but we're normal people. We live life outside of that, although like you said, we do have a tight schedule, and we do have to be focused on our sport. So yeah, thanks for sharing that as well. So in regards to that tight schedule, maybe in season, what does a typical day look like for you in regards to your golf schedule? What would you say?
Yeah, so when I was studying at UCLA and I was playing for UCLA, we had practices 6 times a week, I believe. And usually my day started 3 times of the week at 7 o'clock. I would have a 1 hour gym session with the team, and then we would go to the golf course for a few hours. And then 2 of the days during at UCLA, we would have kind of the opposite schedule. I would study in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we would go practice. And then on the weekend, we would go and play. So it was a tight schedule, but I think what sport in general really gives you is ability to choose what is important in life, and also an ability of understanding how time management is important. Because when you have practices every day, but you still go to a top tier university, you really got to balance those two things in addition to social life and maybe some of your hobbies. So it was definitely a tight schedule, especially during the season because we traveled quite a bit. But I think every student athlete at any university really knows how to have good time management.
Definitely. Yeah. I definitely agree. The time management is key, and learning that is going to, set you up for success in the real world. Because, being busy, can be a good thing, if you're effectively, managing your time,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's key. Thanks for sharing that point as well. So, everyone's kind of learned a lot about you, and I'm glad, we had this opportunity. I like to finish up with these video podcasts asking people that I bring on as special guests, what is, if you had to pick one of your favorite, motivational quotes that's impacted you throughout your career and life, or maybe just a story or something that's inspired you to become what you have become and continue to achieve what you're going to achieve in the future.
For sure. Well, I actually don't have my favorite motivational quote, but I can share a little saying that I was told by a very special friend of mine that really impacted me. And I'm still working on this. It's very hard to do so on an everyday basis, but the little saying that I was told was, whatever you give in regards to energy to the world will give you exactly the same. And I think it's very important to think about it on every single level of your life. When it comes to sport, if you're being motivated and you're giving everything you can today, the world will give it back to you, whether in a form of winning a tournament or maybe another long-term achievement. In regards to personal relationship, I think it works great. If you're being a kind person to everyone, people will be kind to you. So I think that is the saying that I keep in mind every day. And sometimes it's hard, especially when it comes down to challenges. It's not always easy to stay positive, but I try every day to give to the world whatever I can and positive energy, and I'm sure it will give it back to me at some point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it will, and sometimes it gives back more than you put in, but that, that's not why you put in the energy to give it back. You just, give it in put it in because, that's what we're all called to do. We have a purpose, bigger than we could imagine. And like you said, like someone that has a platform just like you and I, we have a big impact, and a lot of people look up to us, especially younger athletes. So putting that positive energy in, just like you said, does amazing things, and it also just helps, ourselves, with peace of mind, not holding in that negative energy. So yeah, I definitely agree. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Vera.
Yeah, and of course it's hard sometimes, and we're not perfect, but if we'll all try to do that, I'm sure the world will become better. So.
Absolutely, I agree. I couldn't agree more. So thank you for coming on the video podcast. Now that everyone has learned more about you, where can they follow you on maybe social media or online to find out more about you? Do you have any social media or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Well, you can find me everywhere by the name Vera Markevich. Instagram, it's Vera Markevich OFF official abbreviation, and Facebook is Vera Markevich as well. And you can see a lot of golf posts, so check it out if you're interested in golf.
Awesome. Well, I gotta ask, just wrapping it up, do you have a favorite golfer, male or female, that's maybe inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, it's very typical. It's Tiger Woods, of course. And, till this day, he's my favorite. Of course, there are other golfers who are amazing, but I feel like Tiger Woods has made such a huge impact on golf, and he's the best. He's the GOAT. So he's my favorite till this day, and I still cheer up for him on every single tournament till this day.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on, Vera. We really appreciate your time and value the opportunity, and I look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It was great talking.
Problem. Yep, great talking as well.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all for tuning into the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. I hope you were inspired and empowered to reach your fullest potential in life. For more resources, visit gavinjohns.com. For businesses interested in sponsoring the podcast, visit gavinjohns.com/sponsor. Thank you all, and God bless.